Core banking system. So, core banking system is a software application used by banks to manage the customer accounts, transactions, loans, lending across all branches. The leading core banking system platforms are Infosys Finacle, Temenos, T24, Oracle, FLEXCUBE. Core banking system process millions of transactions daily and enable multi-currency banking across USD, GBP, Euro, and others. Some of the key features of core banking system are real-time processing, multi-currency support, regulatory compliance, that is meeting up the um, government's regulatory requirements, API integration, that is open architecture, enable fintech partnership and innovation. So the leading platforms, as we have discussed, are Finacle, which is developed by Infosys, and one of the key features is it is an API first architecture. Temenos T24, it is developed by Temenos, and it is highly configurable with strong risk and compliance features. Oracle FlexCube, it excels in corporate banking, treasury, and complex financial products. We'll be discussing the features in detail. So, Finacle is developed by Infosys, which is a global technology leader, and it is being used globally in Europe, Asia, and Middle East. It is commonly used across retail plus digital banking. Let's take an example. A customer in London wants to use a Finacle core banking system and want to initiate a 2000 euros online payment. So customer will log in, Finacle will validate and debit the funds, ledger will get updated, instant payment would be confirmed. Key features are real-time processing, omni-channel banking, that is consistent experience across mobile, web, and branch. Digital ready architecture, that is built for modern digital banking and open finance ecosystem. As we have seen that one of the key features for Finacle is it has open API architecture, multi-country deployment, that is supports diverse regulatory environments across multiple geographies, as we have seen in Europe, Asia, Pacific, and others. Temenos T24, um, it is developed by Temenos, which is a Swiss banking software company. This software is basically used in Europe, um, UK. So specifically in Europe, it is being commonly used, and it is mostly used in retail plus loan segment. Let's take an example. A customer in Germany applies for 15,000 euros personal loan via online portal. So you will apply online. Um, the application will fetch and assess the data, and then the application will approve and create the loan, and the funds would be credited in euro. Key features are high configurability, that is custom workflows tailored to each bank's unique processes, real-time processing, that is instant transaction execution across all banking operations, Euro compliance and multi-entity support, that is manages multiple banking entities within a single platform. Oracle FlexCube, developed by Oracle, a global IT giant. Target market is entire globe, that is Europe, Asia, and other continents. And basically, it is used for corporate treasury, corporate banking, and treasury. Let's take an example. A US based corporate client initiates a $500,000 payment through a bank running Oracle FlexCube. So that client will initiate the payment, FlexCube will validate the transaction, then then the transaction will be processed, and the funds would be transferred, and uh, records would be maintained. Key features of Oracle FlexCube are advanced treasury management, sophisticated tools for managing complex treasury and capital market operations, corporate banking focus, multi-currency processing, high scalability, built to support the transaction volumes of the world's largest banks. Let's compare all these platforms. Finacle and FlexCube are for globally, and Temenos is basically used in Europe. Finacle focuses on retail plus digital, Temenos on retail plus loans, and Oracle on corporates um, and treasury. Let's take a real world scenario where all these three applications would be used. So the banks use all the three might use all the three platforms, depends on their use and their key functions. If we want to credit the salary, then we can probably use Finacle. If a loan needs to be applied, we can probably use Temenos T24, um, as it has the best loan lifecycle management. And if we want to invest in maybe treasuries or corporate bonds or anything, then we can go for Oracle FlexCube, um, as it is based in the enterprise transactions. So, how banks choose which core banking system needs to be used? If banks needs to focus on retail or treasury or corporate, they can decide and then can choose the CBS software based on the geography and regulations, scalability needs, and the integration capabilities. As some of the software have API readiness, such as Infosys Finacle for connecting the fintech partners and third party systems.